What's up, and welcome back to Nighttime Builder. If you watched the last video, excuse me, which I ended just a few minutes ago. Then I set my butt down over for a few minutes, and now I kind of wish I was still sitting down, to be honest with you. But last video we shortened the bed, got her done. It ain't perfect, but we knew it wasn't gonna be. I mean, she gonna be patinaed. But this is what she looks like. You can see the little darker brown, red, whatever down through there and up yonder. I believe that once we get it all back together and we wash real good, I'm gonna hit it with SOS pad and some Comet to get whatever I can get off of this thing, because eventually, and hopefully smooth that rust up a little bit. And eventually we will be doing some kind of coating or something on it. But I feel like it'll blend a lot better then. But honestly, it don't look terrible now, in my opinion. So, whatever. But what we're gonna start out with, I am gonna stand this bed up on the front of it there. That way we can get up under, I can get up underneath of it, hit it with a wire wheel, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and spritz a little black paint on the underneath of it, just to kind of stop. So, cause she'll look a little rough up underneath. Okay, sorry, I'm in that shadow there, but look a little rough up underneath of it, if I'm being honest with you. So that's what we're gonna start out with. Hopefully, I'm not gonna get that done this morning, but we will start it, because I'm pretty sure my kids and my wife just woke up, and they're probably going to be wanting me in the house for too long. This Sunday morning, they'll probably be wanting me to cook breakfast and everything. But I do still have that hole right there. And I could probably use that as my back hole and mark where I need to put my other two. And put that back on there, because I'd kind of like to have it back on there. Something like it right there. So now, let's do the other side. All right, got that one on. And got that one on. Now, y'all don't judge me, because I'm out here by myself, okay? But we're going to see what I can do here about tilting that forward. I'm just going to see if I can rest it on this pallet here. We'll see how that goes. Take my jack stand out from under. I really don't want to have to set it on the bottom there, but I might have to. If I had two of these pallets, I'd set one over here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure something out. As usual, I don't know what I'm doing. And then, I have a whole lot more faith in myself than Oh, she's sliding. Lord, have mercy. I don't recommend doing it by yourself, by the way. Just in case you was wondering. I don't recommend you doing that by yourself. Lord have mercy. Whew. I can already tell now, we'll go to church this morning. I might have to go to the altar and pray to heal my pains, because I'm sure I'm going to have some after that. But let me get a few of these tools up out of the way. Probably just scoot it out of the way. And then we can start hitting some of that with a wire wheel. I ain't looking for perfection, obviously, but I'd like to get a good bit of that off and then just blow it off and coat it down with some black paint just to cover it. All right, so I did a slight bit of cleaning, you know, a little sweeping, then I blew the rest outside, basically. I turned her around, I got the fans going, hopefully blow all the overspray outside, you know, probably not. But, it's what she's looking like. It's a lot better than it was. I tried to get all the loose stuff off at the very least with the wire wheel, and then blew it off, blew everything out the shop, blew it off again, and then come back and hit it with some rattle can. Is it perfect? No. Is that going to keep it from ever continuing to rust? Probably not. But you know, it's better than it was. And golly, I'm disgusted. I need to go like use a pressure washer or something. But gonna let this dry, leave it up, and then after church, I don't know, depending on the weather, I may do it out there. The lowering kit and everything. We'll see how that goes. Alright, y'all, I'm back. The kids are laid down. To be quite honest with you, I've been out here for a short bit. I was eating some snacks and had my phone plugged up because my battery she's going down, okay? Down like the Titanic. It was getting there. And you know, I jumped on TikTok a little bit and was watching and you know, just going around showing a little love, you know, a little support. But showed y'all this morning, we got this beast up, and well, I got my emblems on each side back on. We did the rust on the bottom of it, threw some black paint on it. You know, she ain't perfect, but she's better than she was, and that's about all you gonna get with me. You ain't gonna get daggone perfect, I just go ahead and tell you. But now it is time. Now it is time. I need to open this door, see if I can roll this truck in here. The thing is, I ain't gonna be able to roll it all the way in, so we're gonna have to get done with it. Because I ain't leaving the daggone door open tonight, okay? So we're just going to get done with it. All right, so knock the wheels off of it. Got the jack stands up here. I got that jack under there with just a lot better pressure. But I got to grab my new brackets. Excuse me. And our new, what you call it? Get an idea. This will go in that place. That's got two different things actually, so I guess we got two choices. Huh. Well, all right then. I guess we got two choices. I thought it was just straight up 2 inches, but that's got two options on there. I mean, all right then. Then obviously we got our bolts, nuts, and washers, and then this is our new shackles. So take this place back in somehow. I'm thinking, since this right here is some kind of weird welded together thing, I'm pretty sure this whole thing right here comes out. And then that'll bolt on that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not exactly sure. As that comes up, comes through that, bolts to the top of it. I mean, that's, this bottom hole right here lines up with that bolt. So that would pretty much be factory. Why the crap would you want that? And then that one's only gonna be like what, an inch? Is it gonna be 2 inches? I can get my tape measure on me. Of course. I'll use it for something else for you. I don't know, that ain't no daggum 2 inches between them two. That's an inch. So am I seriously just gonna gain an inch lower with these shackles when they're supposed to be 2 inches? That's some crap, if so. It's always, I tell you what. I might have to look on there where I ordered them from and do some checking. All right, so just looked it up, make sure this is supposed to be 4 inches combined with the front and the back. And by looking at it, it's looking like I might get 3 of those 4 inches just from the front brackets. By the way, they have theirs made and everything. And since mine has that little weird mess, extra mess back there, it looks like probably just gonna get 1 out of the rear shackles, but that's it's whatever. It's whatever, you know. So I guess let's start up. We'll start off trying to get these bolts off this back here. Tell you what, this beard's making my head look about 10 times bigger than it already is, and that's pretty good size already. Might need to trim down them sides just a little bit so she ain't so bushy. All right, just like that, we got the drop shackles on the back. I promise you, that only took about 5 minutes so far after I knew exactly what tools I needed. See, that was half the battle. I mean, it wasn't much of a battle, but that was half the time over here is making sure we got the right tools. Now, look, we're halfway there. Just kidding, the front's a lot more work. We gotta cut these. Obviously, gotta take this loose. We're gonna cut these 4 rivets out on each side. And then after that, we can put this bad mama jammer up in there, bolted in place with my bolts here. Bolt that back up and that'd be it. Now it's time for angle grinder with either, I could cut an X in them, which is what some people do, then use an air hammer, but I don't have an air hammer. So I'm gonna have to ground them down pretty doggone far, or straight up cut the head off of them and then hammer them out. So I might try the cutting disc at first if I can make sure I can get to them real good, and I'll just cut the head off the top of them and then try to punch them through. If that don't work, I'll get out my grinding wheel and take them down as far as I need to. All right, got them. The head's cut off of them. Went ahead and took my bolt out there. Now I'm gonna take my punch, see if I can tap them through. See how that works for me. Hopefully good. I'd like for this not to be an absolutely terrible process. Whew, hadn't fought me just a little bit more, but look, boys and girls, if there's any of you out there, this is what we got. Oh yeah, boy, she's sitting a whole lot closer up there now, ain't she? I don't know how low she gonna be, but she gonna be lower for sure. So the bolts for the brackets and all that, I tightened down like crazy, okay? But all the rest of the stuff, it's just on there. That way, when I get this thing on the wheels, and probably go ahead and throw the bed on, once we get the bed on it, it'll have its weight, right? So then we'll go through and make sure everything is tight at that time. But she's a whole lot closer than she was. I'm so curious to see how much lower it will be. Like I said, I went ahead and jumped over here on this other side and did that because I know you're just tired of looking at it, okay? And plus, you're a little tighter over here room-wise, so you know. But got that knob, spritzed her down, made her look a little better after, you know, a little wire brush. And then threw the new bracket on. Heck yeah, she's back on the ground. She's still just a hair higher in the back than she is the front. But you know, it'll be a whole lot better than it was. Hopefully we get the bed on. She squats just a hair more. Then we'll tighten everything up. But it's a lot better than it was. Who knows? One day she might have a flip kit in her future. I don't know. Ain't no telling. Throw this mug on bags or something. Ain't no telling. I guess I'm gonna raise this door up, push it out some, kind of sweep up, get the metal rivets and everything out the way, and try to get that thing laid down. And I guess try to weasel my engine hoist in here. That's gonna be fun. All right, I found another ratchet strap. We got her partially starting to lift up. It's wanting to lift up the front first. The back it's still on the daggum legs of the jack there, or the lift. But I'm gonna start easing the truck back. And then once I get real close, I'll start lifting this up again. Push truck back, lift up, push truck back. And if I wait too long, that thing's probably gonna slowly lower on its own. So I gotta be in a little bit of a rush here. That's what that was. All right, so here she is. She's sitting on there. And see how it's towards the front of the wheel well there? It still needs to go forward a couple inches, so that'll be evened up, and then it'll look better. But she's sitting on here, just sitting. You can tell that's not even showing a hole. That's not showing a hole. And you can see the hole for that one. They're offset. But what it is, see, it's got to come forward another inch and a half, maybe even 2. But here is the problem. See, we got her stuff up under here. Here's her shackle. I'm gonna have to cut that out. Cut that chunk right there out. I won't take the bed all the way off if I can get by with it, but I'll slide it back some, not tonight, and support the back part of it somehow, and cut that square or whatever out of it, and then put her back on. Or, well, slide it back forward. Oh, that stinks. Oh, I sure was hoping to have old girl do. Well, let's roll her in and at least get a full look at her anyways, by George. So here she is. in all their glory. Still got a couple more bolts to put in the front end here. So, I mean, that's why that's looks like that. Don't worry, it's fine. I got the bolts. We ain't had no time to mess with it. See, that don't look terrible there. If anything, it looks like some surface rust. And when we do wash it with the SOS pad and the Comet and everything, it'll probably just help blend that. Should help get rid of some of this down in here. Hopefully help smooth some of this out a little bit. Hey, listen to that. And all that. Heck yeah. That's awesome. Awesome. But, see, I really hoped I was going to be able to finish this video for y'all tonight. But I got to go work the next 4 or 5 day shifts for 12 hours. By the time I get home, I leave, it's dark. I leave the house, it's dark. I leave work, it's dark. I gotta come home, spend time with the kids, eat supper, say bedtime prayers, and read Bible story, and blah, 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 and everything else in between. So we're just gonna have to wait till, 5 days? Before I can just come and cut them notches out of there. Good morning. I told y'all it'd be like 5 days later. Guess what? This is 5 days later. And well, we got to finish up this bed because, I'm getting it mounted anyways. Showed y'all lowering it and everything. And right, the last thing I showed you, I believe, was where the lowering shackles, they sit up higher, or they come up higher, and it's hitting that brace on the bed. Here's what we got. So, frame here goes back in this pocket, and there's where that back bolt goes. There's your shackle. When everything's in line, that shackle is lined up right here in this indention. Well, we're gonna have to cut this indention almost completely out. All right, see if we can see anything up under here. So I got my little boxes cut out there. Everything looks to be fine. Obviously, I did both sides. Can't see it. Where's it at? Oh, my bad. Anyways, did both sides. Oop, right there. A little dark. And also, I had to cut the bolts out. All the bed bolts out. They was completely rusty. I had to cut every one of them out. Except for, I think, these two back two. I have 2 brand new bolts I found right there that ended up being the right size and everything. All of my holes are very close, okay? They're not absolutely perfect. So I might have to shimmy and shake this thing just a little bit to get them just right. See? But, or I might have to waller it out a little bit. Who knows? But, I mean, she's fitting pretty decent. She's hugging it nice and tight. So, if anything, it looks like that other side needs to bump up just a hair. But, I got to take one of these bolts out and then go to the store and see if we can pick up about 6 more of them. But the bed is pretty much in the place it's going to be, and so it's all good now. I'm going to spritz a little bit of black paint on that back there where I cut just to keep it from, give her a little bit of protection. And I think I'm going to go ahead and see if I can put these last few bolts back in the front end here to get it exactly where it's supposed to be at. Because I think I'm going to need bolts for the front mounts there. Unless I have something laying around that I can use. So. All right, that body line looking a lot better than it was. The fender right here was scooted forward like half an inch or so. So she's meeting up a lot better. Actually got all the bolts in, everything's secured now, so she's good to go on that part. I took this emblem off. The back stud was broke and it just kept hanging, and see how it was, how many times that thing has flipped down. I got another truck behind the shop, but I went to check. So this is the emblem here off 72 here. See how that stud is short and nothing's long. Excuse me. This truck's hood was complete trash. It's on the my goodness, it's on the scrap trailer here, but it has no emblems at all, like even the Ford across the front. So come to this one. This is obviously a F350, but the VIN says it's a 73 F350, but at the same time it's a bump side. So, but maybe it's like a later year, like a leftover from 72 type of deal. I don't know. But also, you can tell this hood is not the same color as the truck. So obviously, Lord have mercy. Probably getting some eggs. But obviously the emblems are, well, obviously the emblems are different. So, can't use that. Oh yeah, that's better, much better. I'm debating on going ahead and taking this trim off, seeing how we're not using it on the back. We're gonna take it off up here too. All right, y'all, I'm out of breath. But I went around, got the rest of that trim off. If you're one of the old school guys that likes all the trim, I'm sorry, okay? Go buy you a truck and you can leave some trim on it. But it was already missing on the whole rear end, and even some missing on the front. So I just went ahead and took the rest of it off. But as you can tell, it's raining on me right now, so I'm gonna give you a last look, and then I'm taking my butt back in the shop. I think I gotta work on the old Lincoln Town Car here next. She's my work car, and well, she needs some loving, okay? But here's what she looks like. Not too shabby. I kind of like the look with no trim. Unfortunately, I got a bunch of holes now, or at least holes with little rivets in them. I threw a old hubcap on it just to see what she looked like. That's gonna be it for this video. We lowered the rear end. Got the bed sitting back on it. Took the rest of the trim off. Got the whole front end straightened up, aligned. Don't need to leave them back there, especially in the rain. But the whole front end straightened up and aligned. After I pulled the trim off, I did take a Scotch-Brite and go down through rubbing along the bump, because obviously it was extra nasty behind the trim because it's never been off. So I just did that to kind of knock some of that big stuff off there, get an idea what it'll look like. I might need to steal it a bumper. Anyways, thanks for watching. Next video is probably gonna be on the Lincoln, just to let you know. It used to have a little exhaust leak, and then I hit a big old pothole, and now it's got, sounds like it's straight headers. And it's been droning my ears like crazy on the way to and from work in the last week or so. I've just been trying to find time. I got a few days off now, and now would be the time to do it. So I ain't even crawled up under there and looked at it because I'm scared of what I'm gonna find. But I'm about to find out real soon. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. Hey, yeah, like old Fords. I mean, there's another old Ford. That one's a car. There's an old Ford. There's an old Ford. There's an old Ford. There's another 350 old Ford behind the shop. I mean, you know, in the shop we got another old Ford. My goodness. She a Lincoln, but what is it really? It's a Ford. But I also got second gen dually and a second gen 1500 up there. Flip kit lowered down and all that. So, you know, you don't ever run out of things to work on around here. That's for dadgum sure. Y'all, we'll catch y'all later. Appreciate you. Y'all stop dadgum rambling and let you get back to business. Let's go.